Right.
So it's one of those rare days where we're discussing matters of the field.
Administration.
Yes, I actually love this. I enjoy it as much as I enjoy it.
I have been enjoying this for the last now 9 years.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
8 to 9 years.
2013. By the way, why I've enjoyed it, and I'm not taking credit, but I'm saying media. Sometimes media gets a lot of flack, but media deserves a lot of credit for what happened last time. That whole thing, which led to the change of BCCI constitution, was all down to the media. Because mine. Oh yes. Should I start again?
Rewind.
No, I'm saying a rare day that we are discussing matters of the field. But I'm saying the genesis of this, the birth of this was in 2013 when the spot fixing case started.
Ajit Chandila,
Yes,
Sri
S. Sri Sant and all that.
And
media played a very important role.
Yes.
Had the media not chased this story, chased the issue, the changes in the BCCI wouldn't have happened in the first place. So the changes happened, and now changes to the changes have happened, and that's why our
multiple changes.
That's why our title is that, which I don't know, my fellow panelists, do you agree with that title? I gave it, so I agree with it, but you guys agree with?
I would have used not. Yeah, I think you were a little mild when you said U-turn. I would have used.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I was harsh.
Because you know.
What word would you have used?
You know, we were discussing this thing earlier also, and in this country, at least the law and the constitution allows you to defend yourself, irrespective whether you've done it or not. It allows you to defend yourself in a court of law.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, what has happened is in 2018 August, I remember I was there in the Supreme Court when this verdict, the last hearing happened. And I actually at that time I was enjoying these hearings, because for me I used to cover these National Anti-Doping Agency hearings and all. So
that wasn't fun.
No, the moment you go there regularly, you start enjoying, because you are actually pursuing a case. And there also, I'll tell you, Nikhil, the media reports also play a very important role.
Yes,
there also
yes.
and here also, as you said,
Yeah.
that media has to be given credit for that, because I remember there was a committee that was formed. N Srinivasan was there in that committee.
Yes,
And
there were
Ravish-
two other. No, you're saying for the spot fixing thing?
Yes.
Yeah, but, yeah.
So then everybody said that this is just an eyewash, and
Yeah.
then
No,
another
because
committee.
the two retired judges were also his friends.
Yes.
That
So
year.
then another committee was formed. Then the Lodha commission was formed.
No, so that committee was formed just to look at spot fixing.
Yeah.
But
Then Bihar
but he
Cricket
said, and they first he said there will be. So it started with that fixing, but I think the bigger issue was his son-in-law coming into it.
Gurunath Mayappan.
So first he said, no, there is no need to take any action. We will see it. Then when there was media pressure, he said, okay, they set up a committee.
Yeah.
A committee in which he was there, and then two retired judges who were his friend. Then they passed a judgment where they gave clean chit to Gurunath Mayappan. It's when he reached that brazenness that media went after, saying BCCI needs to be clean. That's when Supreme Court stepped in, and if you remember from Bihar Cricket Association, a good friend continued the fight, and Supreme Court stepped in, and then Supreme Court said, okay, we will now clean up the BCCI, and they appointed first they had Mukul Mudgal, who then gave his recommendations about fixing. Then they said no, the full BCCI needs to change, and then they set up the Lodha
Supreme
committee.
Court appointed a Lodha commission.
Yeah.
Okay, where former CGI Justice Lodha was the chairman of that committee. A lot of members, in fact, a lot of members came and went. You would remember Ramchandra Guha
Yes, he
himself
left.
resigned after that episode where Anil Kumble had to move out of the Indian cricket setup as the head coach after that falling out with the Indian cricketers. Anyways, so basically what Nikhil is trying to say, the genesis of this entire episode, what has happened today, the final verdict, hopefully because in India, cases continue to linger on and on and on, because we thought that we had seen the last of this verdict also before BCCI decided to challenge this verdict.
Yes.
Because BCCI, I remember when the final verdict was out, BCCI had filed a review petition also, and there's a legal term also, I'm forgetting that legal term, anyways, I can say that a review petition, and that was also rejected. Despite that, BCCI filed a petition again.
It was a plea. Yeah.
And today here we are, the Supreme Court has rejected or amended a decision that it has itself announced in 2018, in which D.Y. Chandrachud, who was part of the bench today, at that time also he was there in that bench. If I'm not wrong, T.S. Thakur was the CJI at that time.
And the bench judge was Khanvilkar, one of them.
Not T.S. Thakur.
No, I can't remember. I remember there was Khanvilkar and Mr. Chandrachud. Justice Chandrachud is the only one left from that
everybody else
judge bench that passed the verdict in 2018, where the same thing. What is the matter? We haven't even told. The matter is that there is a 6-year period that you have to be there, one after the other. Oh no, we have just started. You want to be
victory for you?
Please come, take a mic.
Vindication.
Take a mic and.
Then I have just ordered some food.
Achha. We have just started. We are going to finish in 15-20 minutes. The matter is actually pertaining to the 6 years. So that time, the new constitution that the Supreme Court decided that you can have 3-year terms, as you know, 3-year terms, 2 you can have consecutive back to back, and after that you need a 3-year cooling off period. Now that 6 year was counted whether you are at the state level an office bearer or whether you are at the BCCI level. At whatever level you are there, that period was counted. Now, what the plea that the new BCCI board president and secretary gave, the plea was that do not count it, don't combine it. Look at 6 years of state association separately to the 6 years that we may do at the BCCI. Now, the interesting bit, and which is why I'm saying it's a U-turn, Justice Chandrachud, I took out some old quotes of his. This argument was made even that time. Even that time BCCI said that please, don't combine the two of state association 6 years and BCCI, look at them separately. At that time Justice Chandrachud had said, you can cut to it full screen if you can, he said cooling off must be accepted as a means to prevent a few individuals from regarding the administration of cricket as a personal turf. Basically, you can't treat it as your personal fiefdom. This is what he said. He says the game will be better off without cricketing oligopolies, which is to say, like you have a monopoly. Monopoly means one person's control. Oligopoly means a group of very powerful people controlling. So he says, I do not want that. Just certain powerful people should not control. So 6 years is enough. Combined with state and BCCI, I'm not going to change it. He said at that time. I wonder what has changed in 4 years' time.
A lot.
What has changed?
A lot of.
Why has he done a U-turn? Why has the Supreme Court
done? A lot of CGIs have changed. At that time, the CGI, if I'm not wrong, was T.S. Thakur, and today also today we have a different Chief Justice of India. I think Justice Ramana.
Yeah. So how does that matter? This is with the
I'm
Supreme
saying
Court.
Because you said a lot of things have changed all these years. A lot of things have changed. See, I'm saying the moment BCCI filed a petition, they were very confident. Why? Because they thought that they were right when they challenged the decision.
I want to know one more thing. They had asked for a review petition earlier also.
Yes.
When the Supreme Court did not entertain it. At that time, they refused to entertain any of that. They said no. But how come the Supreme Court entertained it now?
So that's
in 2019 they filed it again.
No, I think you want to get something out of.
No, I'm asking.
I'm saying,
isn't it a U-turn?
The entire BCCI regime has changed. The entire BCCI regime has changed.
So the problem, okay. So the problem was with the earlier regime.
No, I'm not saying problem. Problem was, see, first of all, let me make it very clear. I was never, what Lodha Commission did. I don't think it did any good to the Indian cricket. To be very honest, that entire.
Yeah, but I think the changes made to the constitution were good. What they overstayed their welcome. I agree with you that they came for a brief amount of time. They took much longer than they should have.
By the way, I just wanted to correct myself earlier. I said Ramchandra Guha. So basically, Ramchandra Guha was not part of that Lodha Commission. He was part of that
Committee
Supreme Court appointed committee, which was headed by former CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General, Mr. Vinod Rai. So Ramchandra Guha was part of that committee, not the Lodha Commission. I just wanted to make that.
And there was Diana Adalji there and he left that. So that's separate. No, my point is, so when N Srinivasan was there, everyone stood up and said that, listen, yes, power should not be, because if you remember the argument that was made at that time, what BCCI made an argument that, listen, allow us to continue for some long time, because there are certain administrators who are very, very experienced. Their experience can be utilized by the BCCI, and they've started certain projects, let them continue. So these all arguments were made.
The
Supreme Court said no way, not looking at it. But now suddenly this whole same argument is made that allow us some continuity, we'll try and make a difference. So the problem was with N Srinivasan, you think like that? Is that?
No, see, firstly, I think N Srinivasan was a very able administrator. As a treasurer, as the board president, I thought even when he went to the ICC also, I thought he was a very able administrator.
Yes, but nobody deserves to be there.
But as we say, blood is thicker than water. So that is where he got wrong. When Gurunath Mayappan, his son-in-law, was involved or accused in that entire spot fixing episode, that is where people realize that there's something wrong now, because he was a very hard taskmaster, Mr. N Srinivasan, although not a lot of individual may or may not like him, but I thought he was a good enough administrator anyways.
No, but I'm saying he may be a good administrator. I'm not denying it. I am saying, why should someone who's a good administrator be allowed to continue? I'll give an example. Now, the argument that BCCI made at that time for Srinivasan and the argument that current BCCI is also making, difference is that argument that time
was
Supreme
made by
Court,
a different regime.
Yes.
And to a different bench.
Yes. They didn't listen, but this argument they've heard. My point is, why whoever, and I know a lot of people are pointing out, no, continuity is needed, good administrators need to be there. My point is, there have been so many different administrators over the years. Has BCCI underperformed? No. The BCCI was very good when Ankepe Salve was there. The BCCI was very good when AC Muthaiya was there. BCCI was very good when IS Bindra was there. BCCI continued to be good when there was Jagmohan Dalmia. It was doing well under N Srinivasan. It is like a big company. One CEO goes doesn't mean that company comes down. Company is bigger than a CEO or whatever. So BCCI, the structure in place, it's the entity that does well. So anyone who tries to say that no, these are good administrators and good administrators should continue, whether it's N Srinivasan, whether it's Jay Shah, whether it's Saurabh, whoever they talk, I think they are mistaken. No one is indispensable, and BCCI will not underperform.
No, for you, for me, or even for the cricketers, by the way, even for the cricketers, nobody is indispensable. But that chair, that power, that authority that comes with.
Bang on. So the issue is that everyone wants to be in that position of power, and not the argument that has been made in court that no, allow us, we may have started a few things, we want to continue. That's the argument. It's not that, because I'll ask another question. These positions that these guys hold, they're all honorary positions.
Yes.
Why does the love for honorary position?
Because
you get no money in honorary.
There are a lot of perks associated with.
So this is what I want.
This is BCCI. Okay.
Yes. So it's the power.
Yes.
It's the perks.
Not just with BCCI.
Yes.
Any sports administration body, whether it is IOA, whether it is even 10-ping bowling association.
Yes.
Today, an individual would want to be an administrator in a 10-ping bowling association also. In a lot of associations associations where you don't even know what sport that is actually.
Yeah.
You know, fencing, of course, now people know about fencing a lot. So the perks you get
this
to
thing should come out. Now is what I'm saying.
get to. No, people should know Nikhil,
it is not, because certain pictures being painted, oh, it's for the good of the game, that let's have continuity. It's
Nikhil,
not.
You know, when I started this conversation, I said, so this I agree, and I think majority of the people will agree. I also want to do something good for Indian cricket.
Yes, exactly.
I also want to.
I also
can
want to.
Can I become an administrator? No. Okay.
No.
So I'll tell you what happened. So recently you must have heard that entire story, whatever happened with the AIFF. Okay, Praful Patel, who's been ever since I know or I have understood football, Indian football, I have just known two presidents or two individuals in the AIFF. Preranjan Das Munshi, unfortunately, I think in 2007 or 8, he went.
Praful was basically his replacement down there.
He came, and ever since Praful Patel.
Now what? Three now. Kalyan Chaube. Three.
Kalyan Chaube, we'll have to see.
But now you know three.
Okay. So
president.
I have so what happened at that time? Praful Patel was actually blamed for India's or AIFF, the All India Football Federation's suspension by FIFA. Okay, because he is still, I believe, a executive council member there.
No, FIFA didn't blame him.
No, FIFA didn't blame him.
So
basically,
yes, people did. Yes.
So at times, what may happen, Nikhil, that is what I think. The argument that was given before the court also, earlier also, and this time also, that 6 years is too small a time to have a clout in the international body. So we understand the game here, and then we get to know it better when we move to the higher or the international
AFC,
body,
FIFA, etc.
So, but what I realized,
but that's not the case with BCCI.
Sorry,
that's not the case with BCCI.
I'll tell you. Okay,
yes,
I'll tell you. In 2016, what happened?
AIFF,
Anurag Thakur was the BCCI president. Anurag Thakur, himself a sports person, he's played cricket for Punjab, he's played age group, and for Himachal Pradesh, he got to play. Unfortunately, he got to play just one game there, one first class game. So he was the BCCI president, and I remember.
Why did you use the word unfortunately got to play only one game?
Because I had heard stories that he was a decent cricketer. Okay. I have to be very honest, I haven't seen him. So that is another story which I don't know now. He is of course the sports minister and the I&B minister also. So what happened at that time was he actually the story says Dave Richardson, if I am not wrong, was the ICC CEO or chairman at that time. Not the president. So he said that ICC may see it as an intrusion of BCCI autonomy. All these court hearings, Supreme Court appointed committee, Lodha recommendations being forcefully implemented in the BCCI constitution and all that. And in fact, he checked it with the ICC authorities also, the top bigwigs. So at that time, court said, are you sure? So I think he had filed an affidavit also. It was after that, he was removed as the BCCI president, Supreme Court.
Yeah, because there was a case of perjury also.
Yeah,
I know. I know. But
charges of. So what happened with Praful Patel? What you are accusing Praful Patel today?
Who's accusing?
People.
People. That's right.
No, people as in, people have been writing it in newspapers, articles have been published. So, but that happened right in front of everybody. I was there in the court. And Anurag Thakur at that time was asked to apologize for that false affidavit.
No, my point is exactly this. I'm just coming back to the subject at hand, that if you have issues like recently the government stepped in for this All India Football Federation issue and even the IOA issue where they said sort this thing out, we don't want India to be, and there is a sports code, they want all associations to follow. Why doesn't the government flex their muscle with the BCCI, tell BCCI also to come under sports code? Why is it that the government wants this whole cooling off period for the sports code for other bodies, why doesn't the government now come in and say BCCI you also do?
Exactly. And by the way,
Why don't the government do it?
if Supreme Court had asked you to prepare an amended constitution, or would have asked you to prepare a draft for the constitution that would eventually be implemented, you would have done the same job that Justice Lodha did. I also would have done.
Exactly.
Why? Because he just had to pick it up from the sports code, the draft sports code. It is nothing different. And what you are saying, for other national sports federations, that sports code remains. It stays as it is.
Correct.
But for BCCI, it has been amended completely.
That is my point. Why?
It has been amended completely.
In fact, to add to that, I mean, recently we saw the Supreme Court go on a spate of, let's say, implementing or putting in new COAs, not just with, FIFA, AIFF we mentioned, IOA we mentioned, Hockey India too. And that the entire point of it was what? To get all of their constitutions on the basis of the sports code.
That's what I'm
the
saying.
Main
so
point.
what is the main aim of sports code? To ensure that the power is not rested with a few powerful
individuals,
people.
correct.
By the way, I'm just extending that logic. I mean, in our country also, we've been in politics, we've been saying now we do not want nepotism, we do not want parivarvad. I mean, what is that line in politics? It's saying Raja ka beta Raja nahi ho sakta. That is what is being said in the political world, because the whole country wants that. Correct. So I'm saying power should also not be rested. Why is the Supreme Court, as you said, if you and I also made a constitution of the BCCI, we would have made it like the Lodha committee recommended, which the Supreme Court passed. Yes. Now why is the Supreme Court making exceptions for the BCCI? Why is the rule not same for everyone? And if the rule was like that for Srinivasan, if he was shown that no, you don't have to maintain, why is it changed now for the current president and secretary? Sorry. Why? That is the question that needs to be answered.
No, I don't have an issue with the verdict. With the verdict, I don't have an issue with this. Whatever. The only problem is what has happened now. See, they said the Lodha recommendation was that you need to have 3 selectors, not 5. They had reduced those number of selectors, which the court said no, 5. India is a big country.
You want
the landscape,
zones?
Yes, there are so many zones. So every selector cannot be everywhere at all the time. So they said 5. I thought that was a good decision. Then the initial recommendation from Justice Lodha was that you need to have 1 term of 3 years.
Niche jao, please.
And then you will have to serve a cooling off period. Then the court, the bench said no, we can have 2 terms and then you can serve a cooling off period. But now any administrator, just to break it down, so any individual tomorrow, if Nikhil Nas decides to become a cricket administrator, so what he can do is he can serve 2 terms of 3 years each with the DDCA or Punjab or Lucknow, UPCA, UP, any state association that he prefers. So he can be an elected member of any of those state associations for 2 consecutive terms of 3 years each. Then without serving a cooling off period, he can graduate to the BCCI and can again serve up to 2 terms without a cooling off period. So basically Nikhil Nas can be a cricket administrator for 12 years straight.
Yes, which again is what I'm saying. You are giving power in a few people's hand, and it was changed, but now Supreme Court has only changed.
Yeah, so basically you've amended an already amended constitution.
Different strokes for different folks. That's what is happening.
So see, I don't have an issue with the verdict. To be very honest, I don't have an issue with the verdict. It's just that it has seen.
No, I have an issue with the verdict.
It has seen.
Why have you changed it? If
that's the issue. I am saying that's the issue. I don't have an issue. I think 6 years in BCCI is fair enough. For me, that's not an issue.
No, but you'll do 12 years now. 6 in
that I
6
understand.
there. By the way, you'll do more. You'll do 6 in state. I'll tell you, 6 in state, 6 in BCCI.
Then you go to ICC.
Then you your cooling for state is done because you did BCCI.
No, then you have to serve a cooling off period.
Arey Baba, cooling, if you're not combining the two,
No, I get it. I think that's
you're not.
Okay, this is a confusion.
Yeah, if you're not combining, then they'll have to be looked at. You are cooled off now from your state. You cooled off. So you do 3 years for your state, 6 years for your state,
Not even.
12 years there. Then you do 3 years again for your state. That's 15. Then you do 3 more years for BCCI once again. That's 18. Even if there's a 3-year cooling off period in the middle, you're still going to serve 18 years. 18 years in a federation for one person. Why? Let everyone else get a chance to serve the game. Yeah, everyone is good.
And
Now for honorary job, I don't know why people
Imagine-
run after.
so
Imagine
you-
it was a paid job.
no,
Oh
but
my
the
God.
perks, you will get to travel to.
Wow. Well, then that's selfish. If you're doing it for perk and
You
power,
will
then
get
that's
to
selfish.
travel to Australia. You will get to
So-
travel to England.
So I also want that.
even for.
I also want those perks. I'll also serve.
And by the way, you'll get your
I
DA
want to
also.
try. I want that.
You will get your.
Yes.
So, for example, I'll tell you, there's an AGM tomorrow in Delhi or Bombay or in Bangalore or in Gujarat, Ahmedabad or any part of the country. So all the members of the state association will fly down to whichever to Delhi. Okay, flight tickets and everything will be taken care of. Their stay will be taken care of at either Maurya or Taj, and they will also get a DA.
Wow.
Okay, and
Pradeep Srivalsan is saying Rahul Rawat for BCCI president. Are you ready?
I can't replace. I don't have those credentials to replace somebody like Saurav Ganguly, or even for that matter. And everybody is saying that Jai Shah, the board secretary, and Saurav Ganguly will continue as president and secretary. That's not for sure, because the elections, the AGM is to happen maybe later this month or
One more question
next month.
I want to ask you. Please tell me, why is it that the Solicitor General of India, okay, Mr. Mehta,
No, I won't. I can't. answer
how
that.
is he representing BCCI? So just to explain, Solicitor General of the country represents the government in issues pertaining to the government in court. That is what his primary responsibility is. Okay, and so Mr. Mehta's primary responsibility is whenever he's going to be. How is he representing the BCCI in court? Is BCCI not a government body?
No,
This is a private
but
body.
Nikhil,
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
there were
That's
three.
why I want
There
to
were three parties. Okay,
Yes,
one
there was
was
a
BCCI,
Amicus Curie.
Amicus Curie, BCCI, and Solicitor General,
Yeah.
and everybody was in agreement.
No. These are not the three parties. One party is
Association.
no. One party is the Justice Chandrachud, who's listening.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
they are
Then
the
there are
ones.
two parties. There is BCCI. There is BCCI and there is Amicus Curie. The Solicitor General is representing BCCI there. There are two parties.
No, but
Third is Justice
technically
Chandrachud.
or officially?
So, officially, because he's there. I mean, in what other capacity is he there? This is not a matter pertaining to something that he needs to pass a judgment on.
No, I think there was an agreement.
There is also, by the way,
everybody was in
representation.
agreement of this.
That's what
all
I'm
the
saying.
proposed
exactly my
amendments.
point. There was also Kapil Sibal who was representing N
Tamil Nadu.
Srinivasan,
Tamil Nadu Cricket
Association. That I can understand. You hired him, paid for his salary. How is the Solicitor General representing the BCCI in this matter? That is what.
But I think that has happened in the. I remember.
But that doesn't make it right.
That recently, exactly.
That
Wow.
doesn't make it right.
But for me, I don't have an issue with the verdict. Verdict as in that somebody, an individual, can now serve up to 12 years straight.
No, I have an issue.
Yes, but
I have an issue.
with the kind of amendments and the manner in which they've been amended. The constitution has been amended over the years, because see, technically Saurav Ganguly and Jai Shah, legally, according to the last constitution that Supreme Court had, by the way, approved, their terms or their tenures had ended in July 2020 for Saurav Ganguly, and if I'm not wrong, May 2020 for Jai Shah.
Yeah.
Now this is 2022. After 2 years, they've been at the helm, and after 2 years, the verdict is out, and it says that please go ahead with the re-elections, provided if they want to continue as the office bearers in whatever capacity. As tomorrow we might see Jai Shah as the board president. of
he
the
can
BCCI.
stand for the election, of course.
Yeah.
Now he can.
Yeah.
Now the rules have been changed, so he can.
So-
my only point is there were different rules for N Srinivasan, and that time we all cheered on and said yes, board needs to be clean. Nobody can be in power for so long. All decisions taken are great. Now the people at the helm have changed, so the rules have changed. And I think we should have the same outrage as we had last time when it was a different person.
Achha, does it matter? Does it make a difference to the lives of the cricketers?
No,
Not really.
Which is what is reinforcing my point. It doesn't matter who's there. Then this whole point of no continuity we will make does not matter. Whoever is there. That's why I'm saying keep a rotation policy. Have this cooling off period as it was. Allow other people to also get a chance, and they will also run the board. And players are not going to suffer. They will also run the board as good as the current guys are.
And any administrator, whether it is IOA, any National Sports Federation, State Cricket Association, BCCI, or any. They might say that we are getting that money for cricket to or particular sport to run in this country, but eventually who gets? Why are you paying for these subscription of these OTTs or what do you call DTH and all? Why? Why are you paying?
But availing the services.
Because you want to see the cricketer. You want to see cricket.
Yeah.
So nobody is earning money for one particular sports body. It is the athlete. Today, Neeraj Chopra has won a gold medal. AFI cannot say that we are getting all the money. The government funds give them a good funding to organize these
Camps.
nationals, camps and everything. Okay, you have a Sports Authority of India. Today, Neeraj Chopra has won a gold medal. He is he's a star attraction. So people want to watch him. People want to watch Virat Kohli. People want to watch Hardik Pandya, Rohit Sharma. So that is the reason why these broadcast rights
Go for as much.
go
money as
for such exorbitant amount
Fees.
of money. So.
There were a few comments. I'll just take that. A lot of Sashi Dubey was saying that the Solicitor General of India can also have his private practice. Yes, I know that they can, and maybe in private capacity he is representing them. No doubt. I'm just saying that it's interesting that someone who's a Solicitor General of India, someone who represents the government, is also representing the BCCI. I just said that there's an interesting connection because there is a connection between the government and BCCI also, which is very obvious. That's why I pointed it out. I'm not saying that. A few people said that maybe I'm against BJP, and I'm saying that that's not the case. I said it because if you go back, I also said against N Srinivasan. He was not a political party member. I was only talking in favor of the BCCI or Indian cricket. And if I had the same, that's what I'm saying, if I had the same outrage for N Srinivasan because he was grabbing power and I questioned him, that was no political reason, I questioned him, then I should do the same with whoever is right now. How can I have double standards? So it's got nothing to do with politics. If tomorrow XYZ, who's not from any political party, also is enjoying this privilege, it's my job to question. So I'm just questioning.
I don't think it has anything to do with the ruling party or the party that is not in power at the moment. It is just a simple. Nikhil is saying that the judgment earlier was absolutely fine.
Correct.
I think at that time also the ruling party was BJP.
Yes,
Correct.
of course,
yes,
of course,
2018.
of course, yeah.
So what he is saying, I don't
got
think
nothing to do with politics.
Exactly. Let's not draw any.
It's about
Exactly.
cricket. So we're completely out of time. We have a game to play. We've had
acha.
multiple reminders.
Here we've gotten a few.
Yeah. So we'll take your leave now and see you tomorrow. I know we changed the topic of the dugout.
Now a lot of people are asking why.
We'll do it tomorrow. Yeah. Still fun topic. I will enjoy it.
Chalo, see you. Bye bye.
Okay then. Take care. Bye bye. See you. Vanakkam.